day 6 of that challenge, and we're also in the middle of, if you will, or in the journey to a million. So I'm super excited to be sharing space with you all again today. If you don't know, I'm Tamani, and I am the founder. Oh, that feels weird to say. I'm the founder of Dayrol, and Dayrol is trademarked. Yep, trademarked budgeting software that is designed to help people set personalized budgets, track their expenses, manage spending targets, stay on top of their like general bill due dates, gain insights into their personal finances, and do a whole lot more. So today we're sharing space to talk about the beta experience. So I have been saying, from screaming from the mountaintop, like, join the beta experience, join the beta experience, join the beta experience. And I have yet to take a step back to really talk through what that actually means. And so, in order for us to continue moving forward, and for me to feel good about saying like, hey, join the beta experience, I want to actually have a dialogue about what, or I guess this will be a monologue about what the beta experience actually consists of. So, before we get started, I want to take us a step back and take a look at where we've been. So day 1, it was just general excitement. Like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Not so much. I was super nervous to be starting this live challenge. Day 2 was essentially a conversation about what makes Dayrol special, kind of a deep dive into some of those features. Day 3 was a look into the app itself, where we helped a young lady who is a college student budget on a $15 an hour full-time salary. Day 4 was all about my decision to leave the classroom. And if you were there for day 4, you know, it was about money. It was a financial decision. And day 5 was my leap into tech. I kind of went through the roles that I've had, some of the responsibilities I've owned, and then naturally some of the things that I've learned in my process of jumping into tech about maybe 5 or 6 years ago. So as I said, today, which is day 6, we're focused on the beta journey. And so to kick us off, I want to just talk about what beta is. I made the assumption that when you work in tech, you are surrounded by people who speak tech and who love tech and are driven to make tech and software better. And so I made the assumption that people would automatically know what beta meant. And I now recognize that some folks just don't know, right? And so the Dayrol beta experience, it just lets you, any beta experience, not just specific to Dayrol, but any beta experience just lets people try out pre-release software. So that could be a web app, that could be a mobile app, that could be I don't know, like PlayStation or game system software. It just lets you try out new software, right? It is pre-released, and that has a lot of implications for what you can and cannot do, and kind of the level of like the expectations that you should have for the software. So the purpose of beta, again, it is for people who sign up, let me go back. So people who sign up for beta, they're generally signing up to provide feedback. They're signing up to use the software, to assess the software, to assess it for quality and usability. So when you say, I would like to do beta, I would like to be a part of this experience, it's generally some type of, as I said, unreleased, not yet released, pre-release software that you're testing. When companies are in the market, when they release to production, meaning you can go into the app store, you can find the app, you can download it to your phone. Typically, they still reserve kind of a special place, if you will, for beta users, because they have to roll out new features. So we're actually going to be launching this once we actually get to production. But we're going to be launching this soon, where we take a group of users who've been kind of dedicated to the process and dedicated to giving feedback, and walk them through the process of supporting and building out 2 new features that we are considering right now. Technically there are 3, but 2 of them are actually in design. And so the purpose, again, will be to identify issues, fix those issues early, talk about things that we possibly need to do differently in the logic to make the Dayrol experience so much, like 10 times better for all of the users who exist in production. So the thing about beta, though, is errors are real. Logic can be flawed. Because it's pre-release software, there is no guarantee that it will always be 100% functioning in the way that that it, like, error free all the time. So if you're part of the Dayrol experience and you've said, hey, Tamani, this isn't working. Like when I first released, there was an Android user who was, I mean, she was on my neck, and I'm so grateful for her. She was like, hey, I tried it on this device, it worked. I tried it on this device, it did not. And that is like for the love of all things Android. But just to have that level of feedback around like, hey, this particular feature that you built is working flawlessly, or this particular feature, like there's formatting things that need to change, or I noticed that, the trickiest feedback I got from an Android user was something that had never crossed my mind, but there was something that worked across every single device except one. Like every single person that I talked to was like, yeah, it's working fine. It's working fine. It's perfectly fine. My local environment, it was working. And I'm saying production, the beta version of the app, it was working across all the developers the two developers that work on the project. It was working for everybody. It was working for me. And the issue was this person was using their phone in dark mode. And there was one CSS setting that did not play very friendly with dark mode. But it's like those types of things that none of us would have known that. Like one phone, one setting, one configuration that changed the entire experience of the application. So beta is designed to hear that type, to set users up to use the application, interested users, of course, hear that type of feedback so that we can take action on it and make the experience better again once we roll to production. So this is also why you have to sign up for the experience. A lot of people I still get the question of like, hey, Tamani, I really want to get the app, like really want to use it. It can be my daily driver, and I'm excited for you to use it, and I really want to get it into your hands. But it is not an application right now that you can just go to the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and just download like you could a Facebook or a Google Chrome or any other app that you use in your day-to-day existence. So I'm going to walk through some questions that I've gotten via mail or email or DM about the beta experience. So first, how do I sign up for beta? There's a link in my bio on every social media platform. That's Facebook, that's Instagram, that's YouTube. There are links in my bio. You click the link and it says Dayrol Beta. You click on that. There's a form that you fill out. We ask for your name, your birthday, your email, and the device type that you have. If you're wondering why I ask for birthday, it's because I really like to say happy birthday when your birthday rolls around. And then beyond that, just like, I need your device type so I know which group to add you to, since this is considered a closed beta experience. Closed meaning it is invite only. You have to be on the list. It's kind of like a VIP party, so you should definitely be here. Just kidding. Okay, so when you complete the sign up, I immediately get an email. You should know this is a one-woman shop. Like I got 2 contract developers that I work with. I have some contract designers that I work with, but for the most part, the daily lifting for Dayrol is a Tamani job. So I would say I work from home. My computer stays open at all times, so like I can see the emails, but I try to like block. If you've been following if you've been following my schedules, my like today's schedule post, I block my time, and generally around my lunchtime, I work on Dayrol task, or either like now, which is after hours, I work on Dayrol task. And so midday is generally when I'm adding all of the new folks who have signed up for the beta experience to their respective groups. And by groups, I mean the Apple iOS group and the Android group. So when I add you, if you are iOS, you are actually both groups. If you are iOS or Android, you are immediately sent an email that says, welcome to the Dayrol experience or the beta experience. And I'm going to screen share very quickly to show you. I don't think I have a recent email, but I do have what you can see once you click the link in the email. So let me share my screen. And let's start with my Android friends, because you guys are my favorite. So let me share my screen. All right, what you're looking at right now is a Chrome browser, but in that Chrome browser is the exact page that pops up when you click on the link in the email that is sent to you from, from like once I've added you to the Google group or the Android group. So you click on the link and it says, welcome to the testing program. You are a tester. It gives you some steps. It says you'll receive an update to the Dayrol app if you haven't already installed it on your device. If you don't have the Dayrol app, like go and download it from the Google Play Store. It can take a while to receive updates, and that's just because of how we roll them out. Certain data hold on one second. Let me move this over. Okay, so certain data on your use of the app will be collected and shared with the developer to improve the app experience. You can leave the testing program at any time. You can switch to the public version of the app if that's available, or you can, and it gives you steps in order to switch to the program. So you uninstall the testing version, install the public version, but it could take again a few hours before you can download the public version. It's the switching between beta and the production level release. Now, there is not currently a production level release. We are anchoring to August 1st to be live in production on both. I'm getting bite them words. I just feel it. I just taste it on my tongue. Okay, let's hope not. So we're anchoring to August 1st for a production release. And for my folks who are using beta, you are more than welcome to leave the beta program and join the public version of the app, which will naturally be the most up-to-date current version of the app, exclusive of excluding any unreleased features. So I'm going to talk about one of those unreleased features that we have coming up that will remain a part of the beta experience and that will not be a part of the production level release. But right now, beta is your only option. So once you kind of click into the, once you see this email, you have several options here. Public version, we already talked about that, not an option right now. Downloading it on the Google Play, on Google Play is where you want to go. If you ever, for any reason, want to leave the program, there's also a link down here that says like, yep, nope, don't want to do this anymore. Leave it. All right, so when I click on download it on Google, here's what comes up. So Dayrol Beck Solutions is like my official business name. So Beck Solutions LLC. Here's the old icon. I need to get that changed out. You got some app screenshots about the app. Like there's all this detail about what you can and cannot do. All this good stuff that probably few people will read. But this is the app, so you can actually install it on the device. However, if you navigate to this URL or if you try to find Dayrol in the Google Play Store, it is not there. Unless you are invited, you will not find it. So if you are having a difficult time and you really, really want to get into the app and test it and give me some feedback, then you've got to fill out the form so that I can get you added to your respective groups. So this is what it looks like for the Android folks. On the flip side, let's talk about iOS for a second. If you know Apple, you know that Apple is they create very secure, if you will, workspaces, computers. The software practices are very secure. And so Apple's a little different. So if you are an iOS user or an iPhone user, it says to accept this invitation, you have to do a couple of things. One, you have to download Test Flight, which is a completely separate application. It is not one that Tamani created. It's not by Dayrol. It's not by Beck Solutions. Test Flight is Apple software that enables people like me who build other software applications to test out those, or it pretty much houses the beta experience for people who build software. So if Facebook, for example, has a group of beta users, they might release a version of, like, we're on, I think, 68 now, but like they might release version 1.0.69 to their folks that are a part of their beta pool. And the only way they can access it is by going to Test Flight to download the beta version, play around with the new features, and then give feedback from that app versus the standard app that everyone else has access to on their own mobile devices. So that's why there's a kind of this two-step process for iOS. You have to first download the Test Flight app. Here's what Test Flight actually looks like. It is, beta testing made simple. It's by the App Store. It's number one in developer tools, because if you are building software, especially for iOS users, you are using Test Flight. So you can download it. And when you download it, your apps, just like you would go to, what's the place called? The App Store to Goodness gracious. You would go to the App Store to do something. Why do people go to the App Store? To like install updates to your apps. You do the same thing for the beta experience in Test Flight. So go to Test Flight. It says choose redeem, and then it gives you a funky little code that you have to put into Test Flight to get access to say like, yes, I am actually agreeing to be a part of the Dayrol beta experience. So, and that's true for, again, any software that's out there that you are part of the beta experience. If you're in iOS, that's MacBooks, that's iPad, that's watch, anything that is Apple related, they use Test Flight for their to create their beta experiences. And so download the app, enter the code, and then you'll see it within that app, Dayrol, where you can install it to your device. Now, I will say again, this is not production level. This is not production level code or production environments. For beta, right now, we're using staging, and we use staging because we have a very small subset of users that will likely change and later on. But for right now, what you need to know is that there will be bugs, there will be errors, there will be things that are wonky that we're still kind of trying to work out. We're very close to working all of those things out, and that's exciting. But for the most part, it's feedback. It's like, use it and tell me. For like, the current beta experience has been people giving me feedback about everything, like whether they like it, whether they hate it, what's working well, what's not working, whether they could see themselves using this as their daily driver, whether they're like, yep, nope, I can't do it. Like, it's just too much of a commitment for me to like log these expenses and track in this way, which is why when I introduce myself, I specifically say I help motivated people regain control. Like folks who are like, I just can't do this anymore. I have to have some visibility into my spending. I have to have visibility into the daily financial decisions that I'm making that have a direct impact on my existence. And so that's essentially like what it looks like for both platforms. Now let's answer a few more questions. So how do I give you feedback, Tamani? If I am very interested in talking to you and giving you some additional feedback, how do I make that happen? Anyway, you got it. Email, text, DM, screenshot in the app, especially for iOS. iOS has a nice little function that if you're in a beta experience app and you click a screen, you use the like screenshot functionality on your phone, it will bring up a sub menu that says like send feedback, and you automatically send it. I get it through like this, through the Apple developer portal, and I can review it. Malcolm is really good about this. He sends me feedback about his experience using that. And so, and that's Griggs Designs. Like we love them and they love us. But that's feedback anyway. I've got people again who email me. I've got people who text me. I got people who DM me. And especially those folks who are using it really as their daily driver. They're like, hey, Tamani, I was doing this and this happened, or I was using this part of the app and this happened. The more detail you can provide, the better I can like solution around whatever you're experiencing, because as you know, everyone's experiences, will be different because everyone has different device types. iOS is for the most part pretty consistent outside of like maybe sizing and things like that. But for the most part, pretty consistent. Android, oh, y'all giving me a run for my money with all the different device types and all the different possibilities of what could exist or not exist. And it's been a fun ride with Android. So I'm looking forward to continuing to hear all of the Android feedback. All right, who can participate in beta? Anyone with an iCloud account or a Google Play account. Some of the folks who have been participating so far have become what I like to call like power users. That is, again, those folks who are using it as their daily driver all the time and consistently providing feedback. In the software world, these are like, they're either called power users or they're called like early adopters, folks who just want to know what the latest and greatest technology is out there. That would be Dayrol for budgeting. I'm just kidding. But no, thank you for being a power user and for giving me any and all feedback that you have to share. All right. Do I have to pay for the beta experience? No, both the software and the program are free. All I ask you to do is sign up so that I can maintain some level of communication with you, as well as make sure you're added to the appropriate groups based on your software type or device. I say device type, but it's really your like the operating system that you're using. All right. How much does this program pay? This program is voluntary. That means you like sign up, like you can get some volunteer hours. I'm just kidding. Technically, there's no compensation for your participation. I occasionally send out like Starbucks gift cards and Amazon gift cards to people who are providing me like really valuable feedback, because I do value the time that people are spending taking the app for the initial run. But for the most part, like I said, Dayrol is self-funded. Like I don't have an army of investors, and it has been a lot of my own like personal, well, not a lot. It has been my own personal savings and things that I have put into to make sure that I am producing something that is quality, that is chef's kiss top tier. And so right now there's no pay for beta. It's just I love technology and I really support what Tamani's doing. All right. How does Tamani reach out to participants? Typically, it's via email unless you've opened up other communication channels with me. So the folks who DM me, I will DM them back. The folks who like text me, if you know me personally like that and you have my phone number, like I text them back. For the folks who are like leaving comments on Instagram, I try to respond in the comments on Instagram. But whatever channel you initiate with me is typically how I engage. Unless it is like general for everyone, here's an email that I want to share. How do I leave the beta experience? Really, you could just delete the app. If you delete it, you're no longer a part. You're no longer a part of it. But you can also like click the actual leave button or delete test flight from your phone. And then also, when we actually are in production, it's fair game to get out of beta. You can move to the production app, and I'll communicate that through email. That hey, we've released to production. Feel free to jump over into production. Unless you want to continue to be a part of like the latest and greatest of what we're releasing for kind of the behind the scenes experience. All right, I kind of talked about what current beta has looked like. Again, it's been like, listen, I built this thing. I just need to know it works. Just kidding. I did the first level of like, I need to know it works. I need to know that it can add some value, and let's talk about like what that potentially could look like for you. Future beta. So I mentioned this in previous lives, but we're about to start building out 3 new features, 2 of which will hit beta first. One is a digital cash envelope system. The second one is digital savings challenges. Let's talk briefly about digital cash envelopes. Those are like the envelopes that you stuff on a weekly or bi-weekly or month, whatever your cadence is, basis that kind of help control your spending. So for example, if I had a grocery budget of $400 a month and I use cash envelopes on a weekly basis, I take $100, put it in that cash envelope, and that's all I have for the week. And then I spend out of there, I put receipts in there, and then I empty it at the end of the week and I refill it. So we're building an experience that is digital for that. And I'm going to invite gauge some interest in the beta community to see who would like to be a part of building and giving feedback on that. That is an example of something that will exist only in beta until it's released out to production in the wild. The second one I mentioned was the digital savings challenge, which is essentially the something similar, except there's like this gamification to it that I'm excited about. And this is specifically for the folks who are like, look, I want to save $2,000 in 3 months, like, or whatever your use case might be, but you'll have the ability to kind of develop these challenges within the app in a digital way. So again, beta testers, welcome to participate in those experiences. But generally, what we're going to be doing with beta moving forward is defining kind of what it is that we want to test, setting it to a time period like 3 months or 6 months or 1 month or whatever the case may be to get feedback so that we can quickly continue to like roll out features that benefit users and have been vetted and are thoroughly tested, and again, add the most value that we can to the folks who are consistently using the app in our production level spaces. All right, so I think that pretty much rounds up what I wanted to tell you about beta. I hope my prayer is that it has answered some questions that you probably have had about why you can't find it in the App Store, or why you can't find it in the Google Play Store. As soon as we release to production, August 1st, woo, y'all say a prayer. Keep me in your prayers. August 1st, when we release to production, we're gonna throw a party. It'll probably be at my house because y'all know y'all know I don't like to go anywhere. It'll probably just be me too because I don't like to be a peopler. Sorry, but we will have a big virtual party, and it will be a day that I have worked really, really hard to see, and I will be able to share it with all the folks who have signed up for the beta experience, because I got your email address, and I will email you and say, woohoo, we did it. So in the meantime, if you want to continue provide feedback, I'm listening, I hear it, I'm reading, I'm accepting it, and I'm trying my best to take action on most of all of it. And then for those things that I kind of put lower on the priority list, I'm putting it on the roadmap. Like, that's a concern, I hear you. That's a feature that you want, I hear you. Like, let me put it on the roadmap and get to production right now. So steps or ways in which you can support Tamani or Dayrol or the things that we're doing. One, join the beta experience. If you're a techie person or you just want to be ahead of the game in terms of what Dayrol has to offer, join the beta experience. If you just feel like you need to really gain control today, it works. The app is functional. You can 100% use it as your daily driver. It will just shift over to production on August 1st. Two, join the Dayrol community. The Dayrol community is here on Facebook, and I will send you the links are in my bio. Feel free to join the Dayrol community. Not a ton happening there now because I'm focused on this August 1st deadline. And again, Tamani's a one-woman shop over here. So as soon as I can get to production, I'll kind of like begin to build out that community a little bit more. But join me. Three, follow Dayrol on Instagram. Like, oh wait, that's not technically three. That's the one that people have been doing without like me saying it. So thank you for following Dayrol on Instagram. Dayrol.app is who we are. And then technically the real three is subscribing to my YouTube channel. Like, I'm going to start posting more the long form kind of content over there. That includes my journey in tech. It includes like how I built Dayrol, which has been a question that folks have asked so much. Like, hey, you built the app, I want to build some software too. Like, can we talk? So I hear you. I'm going to start making some content around that. So just to describe my experience and describe like what it was like to get Dayrol from zero to where we are right now. So thank you for tuning in and for sharing the message, for rooting me on, for sending me the messages that say, good job, keep going. Like, I read it all, I hear it all, I try my best to respond to it all. And I just want to say thank you. So day 6 is a wrap. I will see you back again, maybe, hopefully tomorrow. Fingers crossed. Tomorrow for day 7. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's all I have. Bye, y'all. Yay! We did it.